Well, hello tonight, boys and girls from the cold part of Alabama. It has turned to winter down here. One day it'll be in the 60s, the next day it'll be in the 20s. Tonight it is cold. I got a load of wood the other day from someone, but it's about half green. It's not wanting to burn real hot. So I've got a wood heater going. I've got my gas wall heaters going, and I've got an electric heater going. And it's good and toasty warm in here tonight. And I hope you're going to enjoy as we go roaming rural Alabama. Go over to the kitchen, find you something good and warm to drink, a cup of coffee, a cup of hot tea, or I'm drinking iced tea out of my fizz cup from Mapco. So anyway, that's a big old cup, and I know I like tea. And so anyway, that's what I'm going to be drinking tonight. I hope you enjoy listening to this Alabama adventure, this Roman rural Alabama, as much as we did putting it together.
And now, from the tail end of the Appalachian mountain chain in the heart of the South, this is Alabama Adventures.
Okay, now I want to cut in here just a second before we get on into the video. I had was finishing the video up this morning. I had run over to do the last little segment. I wanted to do it on location so you would know more about what I was talking about. And I came back by the post office as I always do, and I had it's the first of the month. It's February the 1st is the day today. So I'll go in and as I always do, and I asked the lady, she had any mail, and she said yes. Said you got a box full, and I figured it was all bills. That's what I was doing, was trying to get some bills off this morning. Anyway, she came up with another handful of bills, and she said, and I've got you a package. And I was not expecting a package, but anyway, that's what I want to tell you about now, what I received in the mail this morning. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to take off my hat that I work in or mess around in or just whatever you want to call it. I got to go get my Gus hat. And I know you probably know who Gus is on Lonesome Dove, because this is what I got reminded me of something of Lonesome Dove this morning. So anyway, I'll go in there and get my other hat on and tell you what I received in the mail this morning. So anyway, now you might as well sit back for a little bit because I'm getting sidetracked early in this particular video. But anyway, if you're a Western fan at all, I know you've seen Lonesome Dove, that movie that come on many years ago now. And of course, Robert Duvall and Tommy Lee Jones starred in it. Robert Duvall was Gus, the guy that wore the hats like this one right here, and Tommy Lee Jones was Woodrow Call. And I always liked Woodrow. I know everybody liked Gus, but I liked Woodrow in that movie. Well, I liked them all in that movie. It was a great movie, and I do watch it now every once in a while. But in that particular movie, Woodrow had there were a lot of good lines in that movie. Woodrow had a real good line, and I'm going to share that with you in just a minute. Okay, now as I said, this was a very good line I thought in the movie, and I'm going to give you a little setting on what was happening. It's in part 4 of Lonesome Dove series. If you want to watch this sometime, I watch this sometimes myself whenever I'm like watching the news or something, watching some of our politicians and stuff. But anyway, what it is, Gus is on the way back to what was a little grove called Claire's Orchard. Claire's Orchard to bury Gus. He had requested that he carry him all the way from Montana back down to Texas, where he and an old girlfriend spent a lot of good days down there picnicking and this type of stuff. So that's what he's doing. And he's coming through Santa Rosa, New Mexico. And he has one of his wheels on the wagon to go bad. And he pulls into town there at this blacksmith shop. And he asks the blacksmith, can he fix the wheel? And of course he looks at it and tells him that he thinks he can. And then Woodrow kind of looks around, and there's a lot of people in town, and he makes a comment on that. There's a lot of people in town today for the hanging. And then the blacksmith tells him, he says, yes, and this is a bad guy. A lot of people are looking forward to this hanging. And then Woodrow says what I think was one of the best lines of the movie. He said, who is he, some politician? That's about the way I feel about a lot of politicians. Okay, so now let me tell you why I made the reference back to Woodrow and Lonesome Dove there just a few minutes ago. Now, he is on the way back to Texas to bury Gus, and along the trail, of course, he has to stop along every night and camp, and that's what he's doing now. And he has a little campfire going, and over here on the ridge or on the top of the mountain, you can see several Indians sitting there watching him because everybody knows what he's doing. He's carrying his best friend back to Texas to bury him because that was his last request on his dying bed, that Woodrow carry him back to Texas and bury him. So anyway, that's what he's doing. But now it's kind of cool on this particular night where he's at, and he reaches over into the back of the wagon and pulls out this little shawl, and he wraps it around his shoulders. And when I received the shawl this morning from Mike out in Wyoming, that's exactly what it reminded me of. It's about the same size and everything as the shawl that was used by Woodrow. Okay, so anyway, whenever I got it out, something else that it reminded me of real quick was in the movies and westerns I've seen when they would be talking about Wyoming or be filming in Wyoming or whatever. This shawl looked to be about the same color of the soil and the sand and everything out there in some of the movies that I've seen. So that was why I referenced that back to Lonesome Dove. But anyway, I wanted to let Mike know that I'm very proud of this shawl and very honored that he took time to send it to me. He tells me that he has arthritis very bad in his hands, and that he does this crocheting to kind of keep his fingers limbered up so we can continue to use them. I'll say it right in a minute when I get my tongue out from around my eye teeth, and maybe I can see what I'm saying. But anyway, I am very proud of this, and what I'm going to do, he not only did he send us a shawl, he sent us a nice donation so we could continue doing what we're doing down here at the Alabama Bigfoot Society. And for that, Mike, I'm going to send you back some of these patches, some Alabama Bigfoot Society patches, so you can give them to your kids and your grandkids. Anyway, if I had this shawl a little bit earlier while I was doing the video, I would have certainly worn it on some of these cold nights down here, because it has been getting cold down here on the tail end of the Appalachian Mountains. But I know out there where he lives, along the Rocky Mountains, I know it's got a whole lot colder out there than it has here, and I don't see how people can take it out there sometimes. But anyway, I do want to show you a picture of this shawl right now, and tell Mike once again I'm very thankful, very proud that he did take time, very appreciative that he took time to send this to us out here. Anyway, let's get on with the video. Well, hello once again, and welcome to this Alabama adventure. Today we're going to be talking about a little history, I guess. We're going to be talking about some of the Indians that lived here in Alabama back many, many years ago now. And of course, they were their nation was defeated at Horseshoe Bend. That was the final battle, and they were forced to move out of here to Oklahoma. But what we're going to be talking about today is what a young lady the other day that I was talking to told me about. So I guess you would call them flagstones. She lives in Pennon. I'll get it right in a minute. She lives in Pennon, Alabama, but she had come through Standing Rock, Alabama earlier that day on her way over here, and we were talking about Standing Rock there for a few minutes. Standing Rock's not a very big little town. It used to undoubtedly have been a little bit bigger town than what it was, but over there in the middle of town, they have this huge rock that stands alongside of the road, and there's a little monument under it that says "Welcome, Standing Rock, Alabama." And there's several rocks like in a circle, and this large rock that has been moved, I believe, over the years, from the best I remember when I was a lot younger, stands there. At one time it had Standing Rock written on the rock, but I'll show you a picture of that, and we'll go over there in just a little bit. Anyway, she told me that these particular rocks like this, there's a Standing Rock, Alabama in Chambers County. There's a Rock Stands, Alabama in Randolph County. And I'm not sure how many other place names around are referred back to rock. But what she said, and what we're going to be talking about, was that her grandfather or great-grandfather, somebody back up the line, had told her that these rocks were not natural, and which you can tell that they're not when you look at them, naturally formed or naturally placed. Anyway, I'll get it right here in a little bit. But anyway, that they were actually put in place by the Indians when they were forced to leave here on the Trail of Tears as trail markers. So if they ever had the chance to return back to their homelands here in Alabama and Georgia, that's exactly what they would do. So anyway, we're going to be talking about markers. I'm trying to think of what we can call them: flagstones or Trail of Tears markers, whatever you want to call them. I guess I prefer to call them the Trail of Tears markers. But anyway, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Alrighty, now before we get the video started, I wanted to tell you where I was at, and I wanted to tell you a little something else about stones and rocks and that type of stuff. Let me get the camera over here where I can show you exactly where we're at in Tallapoosa County. We're at the intersection of Denver Road and Dudleyville Road, and right back up Dudleyville Road is where the Red Eagle Monument is. And anyway, you remember I did a video about that a while back. And I believe that road going on that way carries you right into Dudleyville. And you also remember that I did a video a while back on Dudleyville. But the reason that I am down here today is I wanted to show you this particular place. Many years ago, I was told that this particular area, this little triangle or crossroads or whatever you want to call it, was a soapstone quarry for the Indians and that type of stuff. And as you can see, if I don't fall down walking out through here, they have done a massive amount of logging, and there's probably not very much soapstone left. Soapstone is easy to carve, and when it gets wet, it's very slick, just like a piece of soap. And I believe this is a piece of soapstone right here, and I want to show it to you real quick. This particular rock right here would be a piece of soapstone, and you could carve this into different shapes, or a vessel or a cup or something like that. And I can remember years ago, whenever I was first told, I'm just going to sort of give you a scan of it right now that they have logged in here, that this soapstone was quarried by the Indians here in Tallapoosa County, and I'm pretty sure it was. The quarry or the soapstone also reached all out over across the other side of the road. It didn't stop just because somebody come along and put a road in. But that's what I wanted to tell you about today. There's probably not very many pieces of soapstone left that would be big enough to carve anything out of right now. But I do want to let you know that this was a soapstone quarry. And a while back, I was in Moundville, Alabama, over there where the mounds are. And they had a cup in there that had a little note on it, or whatever you want to call it, little plaque or whatever, saying that this was soapstone that was actually quarried in Tallapoosa County, Alabama, and was traded with the Indians over there around Moundville. Now, those would have been possibly some creek, Choctaw, I believe, were what they are. I would have to go back through my records and make sure, but anyway, I'm pretty sure that this is a piece of soapstone. I wish I could get it and carry it home, because with these plows and tractors and stuff like that in here, getting logging and everything, this stuff just crushes all to pieces whenever you hit it with something heavy like a set of harrows or a bulldozer or anything like that. But anyway, wanted to let you know about that. There is was a soapstone quarry down here in Tallapoosa County. Let me get my glasses pushed up so it won't look so bad. But anyway, we'll head on, and I'll try to find another flagstone, or may not be an authentic one, but I'm going to show you kind of what they look like. I'm on back up here in the car, and I was fixing to leave, and I remembered in my little bag that I carry with me that's got my cameras and all that type of stuff, that I had a pocket knife in there. And I want to go back down here to this piece of soapstone and show you something real quick. It's a couple of days later, whenever I was doing the video, and we were supposed to got about 10 feet of snow this morning, and it's one of the prettiest days we've had all winter. I don't know what's wrong with these weather people. They don't hit it as close as I could. Anyway, let's go back down there, and I'll show you a little something about that piece of soapstone. Okay, now we've gotten back down here to this piece of soapstone. I've already carved it a little bit, but that's what I wanted to show you, is how easy this stuff does carve. As you can see right there, it just sort of crumbles up. And that's why when you hit it with a set of harrows or plows or a bulldozer or something like that, it just pretty much dissolves. And I'm talking with my glasses in my mouth because the sun's so bright that it's hard for me to see the viewfinder. But anyway, that's Soapstone right there, and I wanted to show you how easy it is to carve. Okay, now before we get any further into our video tonight, I've got a little something else I want to tell you. I guess kind of a sidetrack. You know I'm pretty bad to do sidetracks every once in a while. But anyway, what I want to tell you about is something else about this soapstone. Yeah, I guess it's probably been nearly 20 years since I've been over to Moundville. I sure would like to get back over that way. I heard several years ago that the University of Alabama done a lot of remodeling over there, and they've changed up a lot, and they've got a lot more stuff out there on display and that type of stuff. And I certainly would like to get back over there pretty soon to check it out and look at everything, all the artifacts and stuff that they have dug up over there around Moundville. But what I want to tell you about is this particular cup or vase or pot, whatever you want to call it, right here. This is on display over at Moundville. It's also in a book I have, and I believe the name of it is Human Hands, is Sun Circles and Human Hands, I believe is the name of the book. I bought it over at Moundville several years ago. And as a matter of fact, I'll show you something else real quick. I was looking through this book to see if I could find this picture that I want to show you right now. And I found the sales receipt where I bought this thing, so I want to show that to you. Anyway, here's what the book looked like. It had a paper cover on it, but that got lost several years ago, and that's a symbol that you will see a lot over at Moundville. But anyway, as I said, here is the name of the book. It's Sun Circles and Human Hands, and this is another thing you'll see a lot over at Moundville is this particular drawing right here on a lot of pottery, a lot of sun discs they call it. But anyway, I don't know if the camera will pick the sales receipt up very well or not, but I bought this thing back in January the 19th of 1994, and I paid $26.95 for this book. And anyway, I remember I gave them two 20s, and they gave me $30.58 back. But anyway, that was just something that I ran across. But now here's a lot of things that you will see if you get over to Moundville in the museum over there. You'll see all of this stuff that they have in this particular book. But I thought that was pretty interesting that I just stuck that sales receipt in the book, and it's been there for ever since 1994. I would have to have a calculator to figure that up right now. But now, anyway, what I was going to tell you about this cup or vessel or whatever it is on, or it was on display over there in '94. The last time I was over there, it's been a pretty good while back. I guess that I think it's been about 16 years, I guess. But anyway, what I want to tell you about this, they had where it was on display, they had a little map, and they said that this particular vessel was made out of soapstone that was quarried in Tallapoosa County, Alabama. And they had a map, and they showed the actual little trail, I guess, that the Indians used back then as it came from the northern part of Tallapoosa County, where we've been, all the way over to Moundville. And it pretty much, the trail followed Highway 280. That was just something I wanted to add there. Okay, now I want to explain to you real quick how I came to know about this soapstone quarry down in Tallapoosa County. And I got to get my chair fixed here before I can get started. It's probably been 25 years ago now. A good friend of mine who also has some Indian ancestry, he came by my house one day, and he said that there had been some wood cut. They wasn't cutting wood as bad back then as they are now, but he said there had been some wood cut down toward Dadeville, and if I had time, he wanted me to ride down there with him. And of course, he and I hunted together and done a lot of stuff together back then. So I jumped in the truck and we took off. And sure enough, we got down there, and they had done a lot of logging down there. And well, I actually at that time it was pup wooding. You don't tear up as much stuff whenever you're just cutting pup wood as you do whenever you're logging. But on the way down there, he explained to me what we were going to see. He told me that there was a soapstone, a Native American soapstone quarry in close to Dadeville. Actually, it's between Dadeville and Buxton. And I did a video on Buxton a while back, if you remember that. But anyway, we went down there, and that's what he wanted to do, was to pick up 2 or 3 or 4 pieces. And of course, I got me 2 or 3, 4 pieces while we were down there. His son my friend's son is a very good rock mason. He's known in this area very well. If you need blocks or bricks, especially rocks, that he gets out of the creeks and sometime out of the river or whatever, and builds like chimneys and fireplaces and just any type of stuff like that. But anyway, he wanted some because he does a lot of carving and that type of stuff. And he was going to carve some stuff into these pieces of soapstone that we got that day. And I kind of did the same thing. I was back in the sign business back then. Used a lot of artwork, that type of stuff, carving, painting, drawing, just all kinds of stuff back then to make a living. And I've been very fortunate that I was able to make a living doing what I enjoyed, as was my friend's son. But anyway, I want to show you a couple of pieces of soapstone now. Okay, now what you're looking at right now is a piece of soapstone that my son actually started carving on many years ago. And as you can see, it's real smooth, it's real slick. It almost has an oily feel whenever you put your hand on it and rub on it just a little bit. But he was going to carve something out of this, but he got a little ways into it and quit as things changed and moved on. Here you can see the backside where this piece has been cleaned up and the carving began on it, and it makes a real pretty a sculpture or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I'll just show you that and show you about how big it is while I hold it in my hand there. But he was going to, what I use it for now is a paperweight, and it does come in handy sometimes. And then I want to show you this right here. This is a coyote. It's not a real good coyote, but that's what he and I call it, is our coyote. He and I together carved this thing, and there you can see the front of it, you can see the face, and a little bit of a tail back there. We were just sort of learning how to handle this stuff and carve a little bit, and this is a soapstone coyote that came from the Native American or Creek Indian soapstone quarry down in Tallapoosa County. But I did want to show you that right quick while we were doing the video. So now let's get on to the flagstones or the Trail of Tear stones, whatever you want to call them. Okay, now we're still down here in Chambers County. We're on County Road 79. I have something I want to show you. I'm not sure if these are authentic trail markers or if it's something that the landowner just put in his driveway for decorative purpose. It could have been that there was already one here and he put another one up and built his driveway in that particular place. I'm not sure, but I do want to show you these two rocks right here that would be similar to the way, or would be the way that the Indians placed them so they could have these flagstones or trail markers, whatever you want to call it. I'll show you that one right there. So if you see something similar, you'll kind of know what it is. And then, of course, right over here is his trash can right next to this one, and the driveway that goes into his farm and everything. But what I wanted to show you was this was sort of what you could be looking for. All of them won't be this tall. These are probably about 6 feet tall. This one over here is probably about 5. But anyway, it would give you an idea of what you would be looking for if you were out in the woods and you ran across something like this. And you say, well, now then, the markers are not going to be along roads. Well, now they certainly possibly could be, because here in Alabama, a lot of the county roads, a lot of the federal and state roads were laid out where these Indian trails were, especially Highway 280 that comes out of Birmingham and goes on into Auburn. That was a major Indian trail many years ago before they had to leave here. And it was sort of followed along whenever they built the road. It's not exactly the way that their trail was, but it is, their trail was used as a basis for that particular road through there. So you could see these flagstones along the road, or trail markers, what do you want to call them, and they could be authentic. One of these could be. I don't think they would put two this close together, but I'm sure that he put one, the man that owns this place, put at least one up to probably maybe to match the other one as like I said, as an entrance to his farm. While I am here, I'm going to swing across the road right down through this little opening right here. I'm going to show you a Ford Pinto sitting down there in the pasture. Like it's not a trail marker to anything. It's just many years ago there was a house there, and the house caught on fire, and that night the car burned up and it just hadn't been moved. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you that pinto down there is not a trail marker at all. Okay, now a little something else I want to add. I want to get sidetracked one more time, and I got to get this chair fixed. I got to get comfortable before I can tell you what I'm talking about. I've got a friend named Kerry. I won't call his last name. He lives here in Alabama, and I have not met him yet. I have met him through this channel, YouTube channel, and hope someday soon that he and I can get together. I wish he could come up now to where we could go down to this quarry while all the trees are cut, and you can pick up a little soapstone out there. But anyway, because Kerry is a very good wood carver, and I'm going to show you a couple of things that he sent me a while back, and I would love to have a Bigfoot head or face carved into some of this soapstone. So Kerry, if you're out there listening and you get a chance to come up, just give me an email, and maybe we can get together pretty soon and get down there while the weather's still good and cold, so we won't have to worry about those Tallapoosa County rattlesnakes out there bothering us, and get you a piece or two of this soapstone. It carves, to me, easier than wood. It's just that soft, but it is stone, and it does hold up for a long time. I want to show you two of the Bigfoot heads that Kerry sent me. He did an excellent job on these, and I want to show you that right now. Okay, now these are two Bigfoot heads. One was the white Bigfoot, and one was the regular color brown Bigfoot. And I did lay a little ruler there beside so you can see about how big these were. He actually made them and put leather thongs on them so I could wear them as a necklace. But to just be honest with you, I'm afraid to wear them much. I'm afraid that I might lose one somewhere, and I would not take anything for these. Very, very glad that Kerry took the time to carve these and send them up here to me. I certainly appreciate it. And I just wanted all of you to see what type of wood carving work that he does. Very, very, very talented, very talented. And as I say, Kerry, if you get a chance, drop me an email. Maybe we can get together pretty soon and get a piece of that soapstone down there. Okay, now to get things going, I wanted to bring you down here and show you this rock once again. I have done a video on this particular rock and this particular monument. We're down here in Dadeville, Alabama. Let me get the camera over here and I'll kind of show you where we're at. I'm not sure the name of this road. I think it's Old Lafette Road or something like that. That road right down that way is supposed to carry on to Lafette, Alabama, and right back up this way I know carries you back into Dadeville. Anyway, what I want to show you here is, I'll show you that good looking tree before a lot of traffic starts coming by, and I know they will. But is this particular rock right here, is this one of the flagstones or whatever you want to call it from the Trail of Tears? As you can see, there's some houses and some pasture land around, and there are not any more rocks in this area like that. So this rock had to be brought in here from somewhere. It's a pretty good size rock, and I'm not sure if Indians could have handled something that big or not. But anyway, that's the old Red Eagle monument right there that I wanted to come back down here and say that this could possibly have been a trail marker where the Indians had to leave. Now, something else I want to tell you about right quick while I'm here. This is a pretty good place because you can see this large pasture right out here. I can remember, and it extends on up to the top of the hill and no telling how far. But I can remember years ago when I was young, actually going down the road, riding down the road, and you would see rocks similar to that just stuck out in a pasture. Now, there probably wasn't a pasture there when the Indians left out of here, but they did leave trail markers, or so we've been told. And I can actually remember when I was younger that, say, somewhere out there in that pasture would be a rock similar to the one that I have just shown you. Now, were those rocks trail markers? It's just something to think about and wonder about. Anyway, let's go on and have some other things I want to show you. Okay, now here's another rock I wanted to show you. Of course, this is along a county road, and this rock has been here for as long as I can remember coming down this road. Now, there is a post or a tree that grew up beside it at one time, and that's been cut, and there has been some logging in here and everything. But is this a Native American trail marker to how to get back into their homelands? Now almost 200 years ago now, but anyway, I'm sure that it's been sort of pushed over to the side when they cut the road coming through and everything. This may be a marker, it may not. I'm not sure, but that's what the trail markers would look like. Similar, anyway. Okay, now I'm just going to pull over on the side of the road here and show you this rock right here. This rock, I can remember it for a long, long time. It's always stood up. Not real tall, but kind of like on its side. But it's always stood up against those woods over there. The reason I remember this thing is right on up the road, just a few hundred yards, is a dirt road off to the left, same side that this rock's on. There was a big catfish lake down there many years ago when I used to do a lot of catfishing down there, and I remember this rock, when I saw it, it was just a little ways right up the road was where my turnoff was. But anyway, this is like other things, a lot of other things in this country that have any historical significance. They need to be destroyed, and that's what people are doing with them. When the tree trimmers come through, they've been going around this rock for, I know, at least 62 years, because that's how old I am, and they could have went around it one more year. But as I said, many things that are historical, have any historical significance, a lot of people won't destroy it, and I guess that's what's happening now. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you this rock too that used to stand up kind of like on its side. All right, now for this segment right here, we're on a little place just inside Randolph County, right off Highway 77. It's called a Ball Rock. I'm going to show you a little scenery on Ball Rock in just a few minutes. This is a place where I used to hunt a lot up here. A friend of mine had owned a lot of land up here and had an old cabin, and we turned it into a hunting cabin, and done a lot of deer hunting here years ago. But what I wanted to show you is right over here. This used to be a four-way intersection right here. It went down through there. Of course, there's gates up everywhere now. It makes you wonder why everybody puts so many gates up in this road right up here. I'm not sure if you can see this sign. I'll see if I can get it right quick. It's Randolph County 836. But anyway, right down this road right here, probably about a mile and a half or so, as you go down through there, you'll come up on an old house place. Used to, I don't know what's down there now. I hadn't been down there in probably 40 years nearly. But anyway, there used to be a rock down there that looks similar to what I have drawn this illustration of, so you can kind of tell what it looked like. As you went this way on down the road there, it would be on the left side of the road. Also out there where this monument-like rock was, I was sure that it had something to do with the Indians, or somebody could have just set it up like that over the years. But me and a friend of mine that used to hunt up here a lot, we thought it had something to do with the Indians, or marking something up there. It could actually have marked entrance to some of the caves up here. As you remember in a video that I did a while back about lost Indian caves, I talked about a cave or cavern that me and this friend believe that we found up here on Ball Rock one time. This could have actually been a marker leading you into those caverns. I'm not sure, and I don't know if this monument marker is still down there or not. It's probably like everything else. It's been pushed over, torn down, or done away with by now. But anyway, that was another rock that I wanted to tell you about right quick while we were doing this video. There is something that I want to show you real quick. It doesn't have anything to do with rocks. It may have something to do with Bigfoot. As I was coming on out from up here at Ball Rock, I noticed a lot of bent trees and that type of stuff. And this is a humongous bent tree, and it kind of looks like it was twisted and maybe bent over. I'll let you look at it. What do you think about that? That's a pretty good sized tree right there. And it goes over that fence, but right back in there, it really looks like it was twisted and bent. But anyway, I just thought I would add that on real quick while I found it, and we were up this way, and we'll be moving on. All right, now as we're inching on out, I was going to show you a little bit of scenery up here on Ball Rock. It's changed a whole lot since the last time I was up here. Anyway, this right here, this particular area is where we all used to come like on Sunday afternoon. This place would be full of cars, and right over here there was a little creek that ran across the rock. And we'd get out here with the girlfriends or whatever and wash cars and just have a good time. There you can see a little bit of the creek right down there. I hope you can see it. Okay, now we're over here in Standing Rock. I wanted to show you this particular stone. I don't believe this is the original stone that was put here. Right back here probably was. This is one that I remember for years and years. And this big flat stone laying down here on the ground, I believe, used to be standing up in the middle of this somewhat circle of stone right here on the side of the road. Now, when you come to Standing Rock, there's only about 1 or 2 businesses that are left open over here. But this town is actually busier than downtown New York City, as you will see with all the traffic that comes through. But anyway, I did want to show you this particular stone right here. Is the one that is up now, and this was like a flagstone that the Creeks marked their trail as they left out of here, and Cherokee as well. But I believe, like I said, that this stone right here was the original stone that was, I believe it was in the center of this circle from the best I remember years ago. But I did want to bring you over here to show you that this was probably another flagstone or Trail of Tears stone, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now boys and girls, on our last stop of a little rock, of a good sized rock, I'm going to show you right on up the road. I want to tell you where it is. It's near Pennon, Alabama. Pennon, Alabama. Let me get you a little different camera location right here. Pennon, Alabama is located at the intersection of Chambers 114 and, of course, Alabama Highway 77, I believe is what that is down there. Anyway, that's the town of Pennon right there. I believe that store's out of business now, as is this one over here. And, of course, they do have a mini storage if you have something that you need to drop off or get out of the house and pack away, that type of stuff. Let me swing back around so you can get a better look at Pennon. Here's the Pennon Fire Department. Right out there is the Pennon Cemetery. This is the Pennon, I believe it's the Church of God. You can see they always have a big crowd here on Sunday. So anyway, what we want to do is go right on up the road, and I'll show you this last rock that's on the side of the road. I'm not sure if this is a trail marker or what, but we'll get up there and talk about it in just a few minutes. Oh, I almost left out there is a Pennon caution light, and it does work when you come through town, so pay attention to that. Okay, now we're right here at the intersection now, or I guess you'd call it an intersection or junction or whatever it is. There goes a log truck. That come from quarry up in Randolph County. People come from all over the world to buy rock there whenever there are other quarries located throughout the country, but everybody comes to that particular one up there to buy those rocks. For some reason, I don't know what it is, it looks like to me it costs more to haul them up and down the road than it would just to buy them local. Anyway, get off of your opinions right now this morning. So anyway, this is Highway 77, and we're at the intersection of Chambers 121. I'll get a little shot for that. and I'll show you this rock right here that's on the side of the road. This rock is a little bit big, I believe, after getting down here looking at it, for a trail marker. But the only thing about it is that one rock is sitting in the field out there, and there's not another one in this area that I am aware of. Of course, we do have a little spot of woods right over there, pine trees, that I'm sure will be logged pretty soon. But it's the only rock that size or like that in this area, so it makes you wonder, how did that particular rock get here? I know science would say that it's a calendar by the Indians. Have you ever noticed how everything that science and historians don't know what it is, it's always a calendar? Like the pyramids are a calendar. Stonehenge is a calendar. What is, the carvings out on Easter Island, the Moai heads, are calendars. And I don't know why ancient man had to keep up with time that close. And anyway, but I guess that's possibly what this is a calendar. But anyway, just wanted to sort of let you know where we're at. Heard a dog barking. I'm gonna look around to see if he's coming to bite me. Anyway, maybe not. But anyway, we'll get on back to the shack and we'll finish up this video.